All right, y'all, let's be real. Who needs NAND lights or Pavo tubes or any of those when you can just have custom-built lightsabers? Let me put these where they go. What's the deal, everybody? Welcome back to the studio. Jeremy Dio here, and when it rains, it pours. At least that's what they tell me. Seems to be true these days with everything going on in the market, everything going on in my personal life, and I bet you're wondering, what's this hunk of junk sitting next to me? Well, that's just one of the things we're going to be talking about in today's episode. Let's dive right in. All right, so the first thing we can do is talk about the fact that my voice probably sounds crazy, and that's because I caught the elusive boogeyman. That's right, me and my wife got infected, I don't know, a week ago, right before Thanksgiving, something like that, and it's totally thrown me off haywire. If you noticed, I haven't been around for almost 2 weeks now, and that's the main reason, but it's not the only reason. The actual main reason was started is this guy right here, this hunk of junk, and that's what we're going to be talking about mainly in today's episode. And the first thing I'll tell you is that this is a drobo, in case you were wondering. Drobo is the name brand. I bought it like 8-10 years ago. I don't know, it's been a long time that I've had this device, and it's worked really well until all of a sudden it didn't. And unluckily enough for me, it didn't. At the same time, the company was apparently going bankrupt. So the first advice I can tell you is don't buy a drobo. Don't buy a new one. Don't buy a used one. Their customer service was absolutely wretched. Now, I didn't realize they were being bankrupt or going through bankruptcy, however you want to say that. I didn't realize that throughout the whole service process, but that explains a lot in retrospect after I learned that. Very hard to deal with. I actually ended up having to send them $100 to ship me a loaner unit so I can take all of my hard drives off. I bought a new unit. That is the OWM Thunder Bay 5. I think I have the box for it. Boom, there that is. Thunder Bay 5. This is what I got for replacement. So if you're someone who currently uses Drobo and you're worried about your system going under or just the ability to get your information if it does ever crash, that's what I went with. If you're interested, comment down below. Maybe I'll make an entire video dedicated just to that drive and why I picked it in comparison with this one. But I no longer need this, thank goodness. And I'm talking about RAID storage and really the differences I learned during this process. Now, I am not what you would call the most computer literate person. Surprise, surprise, right? I know a whole lot about photography. I know a whole lot about videography. And what I know the most about is light. Light is my subject matter of choice. Computers are just something that I've required along the way, so that way I can get my job done. So I didn't put much thought or knowledge into it. I went through multiple RAID storage devices trying to replicate what I could do with this one. Synology 920 plus or whatever. Don't do it. I know you see a lot of videos out there saying to do it. Don't do it. It works off of a gigabit Ethernet port. It doesn't even have like a 10 gigabit Ethernet port, which almost all computers have these days. So the storage rate or the transfer rate was insanely slow. It was so slow. It was slower than like a passport drive that I bought in 2012. It was ungodly slow. Now, for those of you interested, I was going through my photo storage catalog, and since this crashed on me, I got the loaner. I had to transfer it over. My storage catalog was exactly 7.29 terabytes of information. That's how much I had to transfer from this to something else, and I was just completely out of room at that point. I had already transferred everything else from the RAID onto all of my supplementary hard drives. You know, I have the offline backup, which I didn't really factor into this because I was in the middle of a project that I had to get done, a video project I had done video for months ago, and then I finally went on site to do the end video of the interior. So I was really working under the crunch, working under the gun here, and I had to find a way quickly to get this information. So I go to good old Walmart and I decide, you know what, it's right down the street. I'm just going to go buy myself an 8 terabyte hard drive so I'll be able to work these files until I need them. I will put a picture of that drive right up over here because what I will say is 8 terabytes, this thing actually was 7.22 terabytes, which if you listened to me earlier, you would know that's about 0.4, 0.5 terabytes too small. So Bad on you for that super faulty information, and I hate it when companies do this. Advertise as 8 terabytes and then less than 7.25 is your actual storage capability. Just advertise it as a 7 terabyte drive and give us an extra 1/4 terabyte of information. Surprise everyone and have loyal customers for life. Instead, I decided to take that drive right on back, went and got myself something else that was not from that company, and I did everything like I just said. It feels good to be done with that process. It allowed me to finish up my real estate video, and more importantly, it also allowed me to finish up this drone video that I had been working on for a while that I just dropped yesterday. So if you haven't seen that, go check it out. It's been a long time in the making, or at least it took me a long time to make because of this, once again. So here I am. Now, stuck in my house. I don't get to do Thanksgiving because I got the COVID. The whole market is downturned, so there's barely any work to do anyway. Thank goodness it came at this time. My storage drive crashes on me. Everything is going wrong at the same time. My house is finished at the same time. All of this mortgage rates are up, so no one is buying these houses. Man, I tell you what, life, when it rains, it pours. But really, I think the motivation or the real note of this story is when it rains, it pours, but you can always wear a poncho. You can get a rain jacket. You can get out of the rain, and it's your attitude that allows you to do that. Look, I'm being cautious with this stuff. Who cares, right? It's already broken. Get rid of it. Junk. Anybody want an old junk drobo? You can comment down below. Maybe I'll send it to you. So keep your attitude light. Keep your heart open. Keep pushing forward, because in life there are always going to be struggles. You see me on YouTube and it may seem like I have the perfect career and perfect life, but I go through these struggles the same as you. We all have all of these unexpected things come up, and it's our attitude that allows us to persevere and push on. Now, what has kept me afloat in this downturn market? I know a lot of people, well, I guess I should have told you, we're on to the next topic matter now. Maybe a fancy opening screen? Probably not. I don't really do title screens. So we're going to talk about the next thing in this video, and this is going to be a long ramble on, and it's going to be talking about what I'm seeing from a lot of real estate videographers and photographers right now are recommending, to open up your customer relations with the clients you currently have. And this is all really great advice. It really is. These are the things you should be doing. Not just now, but always. You should always have open lines of communications with your clients. You should always randomly check up on them to see what they think of the service or anything they may need outside of the services you're currently offering for them. This is one way to become more than just a hired camera, instead a valuable part of their marketing team, which I preach and preach over and over on this channel. Like and subscribe if you want more of that information, all that jazz. Let's keep rock and rolling. What I am actually going to recommend you do on downturn markets is something that I don't hear a lot of other people talking about, and it's diversification. And the fact is that in a traditional market, these times are always downturn. Usually November to February for us are always very slow. These past 2 years, not so much so. The market has been a little elusively crazy recently, but now it seems everything is going back to either a standard market or a depreciated market like we've talked about before. So these times are always going to be slow. And there's a lot of people, like I said, there's a lot of recommendations. I've even made some to reach out to your current client base and try and get more from them. But the harsh reality is that you can't squeeze milk from a stone. It isn't like they're just hiring someone else. It's simply that they don't have the work, especially if they're loyal long-term customers of yours. You know for a fact, if you've been doing these things we all recommend and keeping in touch with your clients with an open line of communication, then you know for sure that they are feeling the hurt just as much as you. So I'll go back to my original point. Diversification. It's the best way. What I've done is find other marketplaces throughout my career that are directly related to photography and videography, but are not directly to real estate industry, because the real estate industry is always down at this time. So I look for other opportunities that are up at this time and down during the hot market. This way, I have a steady stream of business all the way throughout. Now, I'll give you my recommendation as what I kind of do, and that's product photography. a lot of product and catalog style work. There's lots of companies that create things, especially local to you. There are tons of small businesses that need your help. And if you're willing to service them and serve them and step out of your comforts of real estate, photography, and videography and work with people and items instead, you can really fluctuate your income higher during these off months of real estate. And the fact that the real estate market is downturn won't necessarily affect you as much. So if you're interested in knowing how I do any of that kind of stuff, like product photography, maybe you're interested in how to do a product photo shoot using nothing but real estate gear, I can do that. Comment down below. Maybe you want just like a basic regular tutorial on how to do product photography or product videos or interesting techniques like that. I know they're everywhere, but maybe you want my take on it. If so, I can do that too. Comment down below. As always, keep rocking and rolling, enjoy what you're doing, make smart business decisions, maybe diversify a little. You want to see my last video? Check it out over there. You want to see the videos I create for my agents? Check it out over there. And as always, I'll catch you next time. Boom.